2, 1, boost your ignition, and lift off. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon.
What's up, Tsuki fam? This is T-Soul here with another video. Today's topic is the Artemis II mission and the weird coincidences related to the Tsuki project. So put your tinfoil hats on because things will start to get strange. Initially, the Artemis II mission was scheduled to launch in late 2024, but there were many delays. And then after 2 years, on April 1st, the NASA team got the go-ahead to launch. So Juju was one of the first Tsuki members to bring up the Artemis II mission, and he actually started the discussion about 2 years ago. In his research, he mentioned the Artemis project and the lunar lander. I'm going to talk about the lunar lander later in the video, but this goes back to our conceptual sketches on the Tsuki website. So if you go to the website, there are a series of conceptual sketches which depict activity on the moon. And I remember at the time we thought these specific sketches were about Tsuki and then RWA mooning to $1 billion market cap. But as time went on, one would speculate that Tsuki knew about the future plans on the moon. Now I know that concept is wild to take in, but hear me out. So I've always felt that our dev, was part of Elon's inner circle. And the Artemis project, even though it was a NASA project, they do collaborate with SpaceX. All right, let's take a look at this conceptual sketch. It shows a $1 billion flag and the timer is planted on the moon. Now the Tsuki X page actually posted it in color. And so we can obviously see that the flag is planted on the moon because Earth is in the background. All right, next is the RWA banner, and it shows some type of base on the moon. And this was also one of our conceptual sketches. All right, so where am I going in all of this? We thought that Elon wanted to go to Mars, and that would be his purpose in life, to get humans to Mars. And Elon has also repeatedly said that he wants to make life multiplanetary, which one would assume to have a colony on Mars. However, in recent news, just going back to February of this year, Elon did some type of pivot. So instead of going to Mars, he feels that we should start on the moon and then work our way out. So by this, he is saying that he wants to build a small city on the moon. So the question is, will Elon stop at the moon? So for me, the answer is no, because the moon has a thin atmosphere and is susceptible to asteroid and meteor strikes. So this leads me to believe that Elon will continue his mission and build a self-sustaining city on Mars. Elon's goal of making things multiplanetary is still on track, in my opinion. Elon actually did an interview last year, and in this interview, he talks about building on the moon.
The goals for Artemis are so small. They're like, Artemis just needs bolder ambitions. I think we should adapt Artemis to say, like, let's have a base on the moon, not just like go do a remake of his great movie from 1969.
Right.
Which will never be, the remake's never going to be as good.
Right.
So the goals of Artemis, I think, are feeble. They're just objectively feeble.
After watching all of this, in hindsight, do you believe that Tsuki is Lisan Gaib, who is the prophet in the movie Dune? Okay, come on now. So Tsuki was able to come up with all these conceptual sketches of activity on the moon. If you think about it, I mean, we haven't been to the moon in 57 years. So Tsuki coming up with these conceptual sketches is a little odd. I know there was the Artemis II mission planned to go to the moon, but to come up with a base on the moon. And this was way before Elon did his pivot, because until now, Elon wanted to go to Mars. So to add to all of this, the Artemis 3 project will involve a collaboration between NASA and SpaceX. And this is scheduled to launch in 2027, with probably some delays. And the goal of the mission is to test docking capabilities of a human landing system in the low Earth's orbit. So how they will do this is beyond me. Like, think about it. How can they land a rocket in empty space? Seems very difficult. But don't count Elon out. Okay, this part is an interesting tidbit. It's a very short tidbit. But did you know Diana the Black Cat, which is Tsuki's mascot, right? The black cat of Tsuki is Diana, right? Diana is the Roman goddess of the moon. And in contrast, the Greek goddess of the moon, guess what her name is? It's Artemis. Here's another coincidence. So we all know that the Artemis II mission was scheduled for April 1st, right? What else happened on April 1st? Think about it. You guessed it. It was a pink full moon. And it's the same moon as the Tsuki post back in May 2024. Look here. Okay, I swear the timing of all this is impeccable. Okay, there are no coincidences. So here's a little connection between Kevin Gill and the Artemis II mission. Now, if you follow Kevin Gill on X, he's the barking puppy. He usually posts the infinity symbol. Now check out the flight path of the Artemis II mission. It looks like a figure 8, which can be interpreted as the infinity symbol. All right, finally, last part of the video. Let's make sense of all of this. All right, let's go back to February 2024, and Intuitive Machines sent a Nova C lander to the moon. And this was brought up by community member Brian. He's been on this for 2 years. Now, the purpose of the Nova C is to hold like a payload for NASA. And this payload could include like instruments, research material, stuff like that. Now, Pedro wrote this in the chat. And he said that they're going to build a base on the moon. And we kind of talked about this earlier. And who knows, Tsuki might be part of it, just like in this conceptual sketch. All right, that's all I got for today. Leave a comment. What do you think about all of this 10? I know it goes kind of deep and it sounds too good to be true. But hey, that's what we do here. We try to make connections to all the weird coincidences. All right, make sure you check out Community X and also join our Telegram. Always fun and interesting discussions. Have a good day.